Yeah.
Welcome back to the Gridiron Expert. You know, prediction season for us here at the channel is right around the corner, starting here in just a few weeks. Before we jumped into those predictions and gave you our official takes on every single game this year, we want to take a look at some other predictions around the country, specifically the Football Power Index. And that's what we're doing this week, guys. We are taking a look at what the FPI, the Football Power Index, what they predict for every single Power 5 team. Are some of these records surprising? Are they too high? Are they too low? We're here to kind of give our slight take without giving anything away on our end as we prepare again for prediction season and get ready for this upcoming college football season. So today, guys, we are taking a look at the Big Ten. We've already done the SEC. We're diving into the Big Ten today. And we'll start over here in the East with the FPI. Again, not our predictions. The FPI has Ohio State going 11-1. And as we mentioned with the SEC, the FPI rarely predicts anybody to go undefeated. It's very rare that their computer system and their metrics have anybody going a perfect 12-0. So they have Ohio State coming in at 11-1. Who that loss is to, we do not know. Could be Notre Dame, could be Michigan, could be Penn State. All remains to be seen. But regardless, they have the Buckeyes bouncing back, making the Big Ten championship game after falling just short last year. Right underneath them, they have Michigan, the reigning Big Ten champions, going 9-3. And all things considered, that'd be a pretty successful year under Jim Harbaugh. Yes, the Wolverines more than likely will begin the year in the top 10. Expectations are sky high after the Wolverines finally beat Ohio State, won the Big Ten, and finally made the college football playoff. But I don't think many people are expecting Michigan to replicate all of that success. I don't think many people have Michigan repeating as Big Ten champions. A 9-win season with a potential bowl win, a potential New Year's Six bowl win to cap off a double-digit win season would be a successful year in Ann Arbor. Beneath them, Penn State, 8-4. That'd be a major bounce-back year for the Nittany Lions. They started off hot last year, fizzled out midway through the year, ultimately lost the Outback Bowl to Arkansas. Going 8-4, finishing third in the Big Ten East would not be a bad spot for James Franklin and his squad, although I think right now Penn State faithful are getting kind of restless. 8-4, 9-3, things like that. Not bad years. The bowl games are good, but they're ready to go back and win the Big Ten. They're ready to be playoff contenders, and that's not something that they've been for a long time now. Usually they're there for a little while, they lose to someone they shouldn't, and it all comes crashing down. Beneath them, Michigan State coming in at 4th in the Big Ten East. Michigan State was last year's darling. They were a surprise in the Big Ten, nearly winning the Big Ten East had they not gotten blown out by Ohio State later in November. But regardless, 8-4 following up an 11-win season where they won the Peach Bowl. Fantastic year for Mel Tucker and the Spartans. This wouldn't be a bad spot. Another 8-win season, another solid bowl game. Again, right now, we're not necessarily agreeing with all these predictions, but we're saying these are not bad predictions and not bad records for these teams to have. Again, not saying we're agreeing with them, not saying they should be higher or should be lower, but right now, so far, not terrible. Maryland in at 6-6 from the FPI. Terrapins finally broke through last year under Mike Locksley and got to a bowl game. They're hoping to do so again now. The FPI thinks they will, just barely though, 6-6. This is the year that many think Maryland can maybe take a step forward, maybe win 7 or 8 games. Solid offense, finally have that confidence and that experience of being in the postseason. The Terrapins, I think, will upset a team or two that maybe they shouldn't in 2022. I'm not saying they're going to surprise and be East contenders, but they should be going bowling and they should get a couple key marquee victories. And then finally, guys, rounding out the East, Indiana and Rutgers both coming in at 4-8. The FPI has Indiana doubling their win total from last year after going 2-10. They have Rutgers actually taking a step back. The Scarlet Knights going 5-7. They have them at 4-8, which would not be ideal for Greg Schiano and his squad, but they are dealing with a brand new quarterback in Gavin Wimsatt. Probably going to go through a lot of growing pains. Schiano is slowly recruiting and trying to rebuild his Rutgers program. In doing so, you're going to suffer a couple years like this before he finally gets the Scarlet Knights back to the postseason. Over in the West, not nearly as exciting, I would say, as the East, although it is more wide open. I mean, you look at that. One game separates Iowa to Wisconsin, according to the FPI. One game separates Iowa to Wisconsin, so the 5th place team to the 1st place team, one game separates them. 8-4 for Wisconsin, 7-5 for Iowa. The biggest thing that I'm surprised with more than anything is, first off, over in the West, they don't have any team winning more than 8 games. So they're saying that Wisconsin can't win 9 games. Iowa, who won the West last year, won't win 9 games. No one eclipses 8 victories. So Wisconsin, out of the Big Ten West, if they were to win the division, which the FPI says they will, would go to the Big Ten championship with only 8 wins. That's interesting to me. Very. More interesting is the fact they have Nebraska in at number 2, second in the West. Wisconsin apparently owning the tiebreaker over the Cornhuskers. A Nebraska team that has yet to make a bowl game under Scott Frost. They have them going 8-4. A Nebraska team that went 3-9 last year, and yes, the best 3-9 team ever, however you want to phrase it. 3-9 is still 3-9. 3-9 to 8-4 would be one of the more drastic turnarounds in all of college football if this prediction were to hold true. So Nebraska from 3-9 to 8-4, second in the Big Ten West, finally going to a bowl game under Scott Frost, and it would be a pretty good bowl game at that. That is one of the more shocking things I think I see here. Underneath them, you have Minnesota, Purdue, and Iowa all coming in at 7-5. Purdue and Iowa, legitimate contenders. Minnesota is kind of that dark horse, I feel like, in the Big Ten West. A team that no one's really talking about enough, but a team that could see themselves have a similar year to 2019. Not saying they're going to go win 11 games, but a year where towards the end of November, they could be in the hunt for the division crown. So 7-5 for all those teams there. Rounding out the Big Ten West, Illinois at 5-7. Just like they were last year, just barely missing out on a bowl game. Brett Bielema trying to get his Fighting Illini there would fall just short in 2022 if this prediction were to hold true. Northwestern, they have them having another rough year. 2 years ago, they won the Big Ten West, made the Big Ten Championship before falling to Ohio State. Last year, they went 3-9. They were absolutely abysmal. They have them showing slight improvement in the West, but not nearly enough, not even enough to go bowling. We've seen other recent years, Northwestern usually has one good year, one bad year, and if we followed that pattern, Northwestern would bounce back with a decent year and get back to the postseason. The FPI does not believe so. They have the Wildcats going 4-8. So again, guys, the biggest takeaways we see here from the FPI are the fact that, over in the East, nothing too drastic. I think a lot of people are banking on Ohio State to win that. It could be, the surprise for you could be the fact that Penn State is above the likes of Michigan State. It could be the fact that Indiana is still 4-8, maybe not improving in a bounce-back year from Tom Allen. I'm more interested in what's going to happen in the West. That is what's more interesting to me. Seeing no team eclipse 8 wins, seeing Nebraska shoot up from 3-9 to 8-4, and seeing a 3-way tie for third between Minnesota, Purdue, and Iowa, all of which I think have a legitimate shot to win the division. The West is wide open in the Big Ten this year. All 5 of those teams are absolutely in contention, but it's the Nebraska thing that interests me the most. I know they've got a new offensive coordinator. They've got a new transfer quarterback in Casey Thompson from Texas. But do you believe that Nebraska can skyrocket all the way to second in the West and be really one game away, really one tiebreaker away from getting to the Big Ten championship game? That is a $1 million question, and that's what going to be very interesting as we approach the season, as we approach our own predictions here at the Gridiron Expert. If you like these FPI predictions, that's great. You're going to like ours even better. If you disagree with these, that's even better, because I think you're going to agree with ours just a little bit more. So stay tuned, guys. Prediction season is right around the corner. We're going to break down the other 3 Power 5 conferences, and when that concludes, prediction season right here only at the Gridiron Expert. So once again, guys, we want to thank you so much for watching. Please continue to like, comment, subscribe, share our videos. Check out everything down in the description below. Again, become a part of what we're building here at the channel. Become a part of our GE Nation so you don't miss out on any of this college football content that we have for you year-round, we should add. So don't miss out on that. And once again, guys, as always, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time right here on the Gridiron Expert.